Yo, 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 what's going on, man? Today is April the 22nd, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. Not the greatest night yesterday. Jump right into it. Fully transparent. 0-4 day yesterday. Everything that I played yesterday came crashing, came burning down. Loved all the spots that I took yesterday. And if I could run it back, I'd play all of them over again, man. Jaylen Brown did not show up yesterday. Mitchell Robinson had 5 rebounds in the first quarter. Finished the game with 7, even though the Cleveland Cavaliers missed pretty much every shot that they took. So I'm off player props. Emmanuel quickly finished on the hook. I think he had 11 points and 2 assists. I took his 0-14 and a half, and what I thought was going to be a step up game for him. And then, of course, I took the Knicks in the first quarter on the spread, the 0.5. Julius Randle, he built 3 mansions yesterday in the first quarter. 0 for 5, couldn't make a shot. Neither team could make a shot. Should have just took the under. We'll tell you guys I'll be on the under in the next game because I don't think that either one of those teams can score. So even if the Knicks come out and they score as good as they did in the last game, because Darius Garland did get injured and kind of tweak their ankle, I still don't think that the Cleveland Cavaliers will be able to score more than they scored in the last game. And if they do, I feel like the Knicks will not be able to score. So 2 bad offenses. Long as they're not turning the ball over at a high rate, I will be on the under in the next game. Just kind of letting you guys know that ahead of time. I don't care if it's 201 and a half. But as far as today's games go, because it's all about the bounce back, right? You got to have a short memory when you sports betting all the time. Um, Today, we got the Philadelphia 76ers and the Brooklyn Nets. Nets laying 2 points. I'm sorry, I definitely put that wrong. Let me change the banner real quick. The Sixers are laying 2 points as road favorites to kind of finish the series today. So you got the home dog catching 2 points. Total in this one is going up 209. It looks like it's the consensus right now. This game is a pretty interesting game because if you guys don't know, most people should know, Joel Embiid is ruled out for this game with the right knee sprain. I think it was after getting the MRI yesterday, which is why you see the spread go from 6. It actually opened at 6 and it came all the way down to 2. So a couple different things that I looked at. First thing I looked at was road favorites that are up 3-0 in a closeout game. Those teams are 40 and 17 straight up. That 70% says, according to the Killer Sports database, says that those teams closed this game out today. Joel Embiid or no Joel Embiid. So like I said, 40 and 17 straight up. They're 28 and 13. 40 and 17 straight up, 28 and 13 against the spread. If it's the I'm sorry, 28 and 13 straight up if it's the first round specifically. So 68% says that the 76ers win this game today just with them being a favorite on the road, after being up 3-0. The Sixers also finished 11 and 5 straight up and against the spread without Joel Embiid this season. So that's 69% of the games they actually won, winning 5 of their last 6 games as well. I also think that while Brooklyn will be motivated in this spot, right? No team wants to get swept. You don't want to start your summer, thinking back to go into the summer, thinking back to, just getting beat up so badly and getting swept, especially on your home court. You kind of want to push it to a game 5. You get a little bit more respect from your home crowd. But we know that Brooklyn was they've been overmatched throughout the entirety of this season. So the Sixers on the opposite side, I think that, some of their guys, especially the guys that don't get as much minutes, that don't get as much usage, guys like Paul Reed, I'm pretty sure Montrezl Harrell's going to be a part of this game as well. I think those guys will be motivated because of the opportunity as well to show Doc that, and the rest of their coaching staff that they deserve minutes in this, not in this series, but in the next series as well. So you always want to play well, and just because this team is without Joel Embiid, I don't think that they're going to come into this game and roll over and lay down. On the Nets side, they've been wanting to kind of push the pace throughout the series. They've kind of struggled to been able to do so because the Philadelphia 76ers are a top 10 defensive rated team. They've also struggled to rebound the ball and to get out in transition like they want to. For the Nets to be successful, they got to be able to rebound the basketball. They got to stop turning the ball over, and they got to be able to make wide open 3-pointers. And I think without Joel Embiid there today, I think some of that can be true, right? I do think that they rebound the ball a little bit better. They should be able to without Joel Embiid dominating the glass. I think that'll help them kind of get out and transition and run. So for that reason, I did play the over in this game. I gave it out this morning to my YouTube membership at 208 and a half. It's up to 209 right now. Some books got it at 209 and a half. Sixers, they have to be able to play with pace. The Sixers do play with pace without Joel Embiid. 16 games without him this season. Their pace increased from 95 to 97. Their scoring went from 114 and a half points per game to 118 and a half. So their field goal percentage, their three-point percentage, all about stayed the same. No drastic dips with or without Joel Embiid in the lineup. They were also 10-5-1 to the over without Joel Embiid in those 16 games. So I also put a half unit on the first half and the first quarter over as well. 52.5 was the first quarter number, and 50 and 60 and 106 was the first half over. I played both of those because I feel like the scoring will start early. I think the books haven't quite adjusted to Joel Embiid being out in this game, and because of that reason, I did take the first quarter, first half, and full game over. You look at it since the All-Star break, the Nets scored more points in the first half than they do in the second half. And the Sixers, their defense picks up in the second half. So in the first half, they're allowing about 56 points. But in the second half, teams, they're only giving up 52 points. And we know that they played a much slower pace to end the game as well. So I'm not talked off the 209. But I played the first half over 52.5, first quarter over 52.5, first half over 106. And the full game over 208 and a half as well. So those are my thoughts on the game. I do think that Philly still wins the game. I think that if you're looking at a player prop, which I won't be playing any player props today, if you're looking at player props, I think you got to look at Bridges. I think Bridges, I know he hasn't hit the 26.5 points, but to me, I think, it'll be a little bit, more difficult to double team him. It's at 27.5 on most books. I think that number is, he hasn't scored 27.5 points throughout the entirety of the season, throughout the entirety of the series. So being that the books got the number so high, it kind of feels like, do or die type game, back all the way against the wall. It's got to be a big game for Bridges, just the way I kind of see the game going. 26.5 is minus 108 on FanDuel. All the other books got it at 27.5. I didn't play it though. I also watched the post-game interview. Bridges looks sad, man. You could tell that he really, enjoys winning. He's not a part of losing culture because he's been in Phoenix for so long with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Coach Monty Williams. He's not, you can just tell he's not about losing. So I expect a big effort from Bridges today in a do or die game where, a season could potentially come to an end. So if I'm looking at a player prop, that's probably who I'm playing. I didn't play any player props, like I said, though, but I would take Bridges. Official plays for me, first quarter, first half, and full game, all over. I'm probably going to play Philly on the money line as well. Best odds are on Caesars right now at a minus 120, but I didn't put that in yet because I do feel like the Brooklyn Nets could potentially come out here and hit first. And if they hit first, you'll get a better number on Philly live. So if I can catch Philly at, live, plus 200, plus 150 on the money line, I'll play them live versus playing them pregame. I do think that Philly wins the game and closes out the series, though, just based on the numbers and the trends that I kind of gave you guys. All right, so next game up, we got the Suns and the Clippers, and I'm going through these pretty quickly. Suns and the Clippers. Suns are 7.5 point favorites on the road. They're up 2-1 in the series, of course. Kawhi's already ruled out, and this Clippers team continues to fight, man. You got to give it up for the Clippers. They still play hard. They still play together. Ty Lue is a hell of a coach, and I'm pretty sure he didn't sign up for a job to not have all his employees when he came to work every single day of the week. So, just kind of unfortunate for the Clippers, man. I thought it was going to be a pretty good series, and it's turning out to not be one because Kawhi's not going to be there. PG has already been rolled out for the series as well, even though he's been doing some on the court work. In the last game, you saw the Clippers try to go small. They don't have a choice but to kind of go small. You lose Kawhi, you lose not only 30 to 35 points on the offensive end, but you also lose one of your better defenders as well. So you just kind of go back and look at who was out there. They had Zubac out there, but they had Batum, Westbrook, Eric Gordon, and Norman Powell. So they go with a pretty fast, pretty small lineup that you try to push the pace. Bones Highland played 21 minutes. Terrence Mann played 26 minutes as well. So I think that they, continue to try to push the pace. Westbrook is going to try to push the pace. Their offense is going to be better if they try to get out and run in transition. Westbrook played 40 minutes in the last game. Norman Powell also played 41 minutes. And I think on the Phoenix side, they still continue to be elite offensively. This team is, I took Devin Booker under, and I probably won't do that again. They scored 129 points in the last game. Not a lot of defensive resistance on the opposite side. KD shot the ball 50% or better. Chris Paul only shot about less than 33%, but he still scored 11 points. And Devin Booker was a man amongst boys with 45 points. So I think, you probably just see a bigger game from Kevin Durant. Torrey Craig also hit 3 or 4 threes. They getting some contributions from the bench, but they're just, continue to be elite offensively. What I have written in my notes is that the Suns, they continue to rank in the 99th percentile, hundreds, of course, the best percentile, scoring 125 points per 125.4 points 100 possession while shooting 62% effective field goal percentage as well. And that's with a lineup of a lineup of Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, and Chris Paul on the floor. So when you throw Ayton in there, it gets even better. But even guys like Torrey Craig, some of those guys off the bench can still kind of come in there and still be able to kind of keep scoring. So the Clippers won't be able to. I don't think they'll be able to stop this team defensively. So I think they just continue to have to push the pace. Also, I looked on the Clippers side without Kawhi, PG, and I wanted to make sure I factored in lineups. I was looking for lineups that didn't have some of those traded guys. So I took John Wall out, Luke Kennard out, Reggie Jackson out. The Clippers actually ranked in the 26th percentile defensively. And like I told you guys, percentile, and this is all per cleaning the glass, percentiles work on a higher the number, the better the outcome, right? So 26 percentile is really low. Defensively, they're allowing 117.9 points per 100 possessions, and their opponents are shooting pretty well against them as well as far as effective field goal percentage. So I think this is an over game. I know the total's already going up just a tad bit, but 227. I think both of these teams get to their team total. If I'm playing a game, I'm playing the over 227 in this game. Staying away from the side. The Clippers are not. The Clippers are going to continue to fight hard, even though they don't have Kawhi Leonard. I know that they made a lot of people money in that last game because they kept their game closer than a lot of people thought. And I think that they could potentially kind of keep this one close as well. Even if they don't, I think that the Suns go over their team total. And that may be the best bet of the day is just take the Suns team total over so you can kind of stay away from the spread if you're playing this one. Really hard to kind of dictate whether, Devin Booker's going to have that great of a game or if it'll be a Kawhi Leonard game. Also, Torrey Craig, I was looking at his points. Like I said, I'm not playing any player props today, but I did kind of go through and look at him. Torrey Craig, over 9.5 points. He's the guy that's been the beneficiary of Devin Booker and DeAndre and Chris Paul and Kawhi. I'm sorry, the beneficiary of Devin Booker and Kevin Durant being double teamed specifically. So, his ability to be able to shoot the ball, he's been out there kind of knocking the shots down. I think that they, get the job done again today. And I would probably look at Torrey Craig on a buy low spot if I'm looking at anybody as far as points go. He in the Bucks. Not a game I look too much into. I think Giannis is still going to be out in this one. I got some time before this game. So what I will tell you guys is that, the Heat, they did come into Milwaukee. They stole game one. You saw them shoot a blistering, I think it was like 60% from the three-point line, which is absolutely absurd. We predicted the Bucks right in the second game because we thought that they, have some regression for their three-point shooting, and we saw that. The Bucks will, be on the road. On the road, I'll tell you guys this: they tend to trend better defensively on the road. For some reason, the Bucks play a lot faster pace. They play less defense. They're a lot more lackadaisical defensively when they're at home. On the road, they typically turn up. This is a team that prides itself on their defense, specifically when they're on the road. Like I said, their numbers, I don't have them right in front of me. Like I said, I got a little more digging to do on this game, but they play a lot better on the road. I know that the total is going up in this one. And I'm not saying that the game goes under, but what I'm saying is that if you're looking towards an over, it might be a Bucks team total to go over. I think that the Heat probably continue to struggle in this game, but like I said, I got a little more digging to do. I do think it's pretty interesting that the Bucks are still laying 5 points, so the books are anticipating that they win by. If you're taking the Bucks, you're anticipating them to win by 2 possessions today. So, like I said, I got a little more digging to do on this game, but those are my general thoughts. On to the last game. Last game of the day is the Grizzlies and the Lakers. Lakers 4-point favorites back at the crib after, coming out and kind of wetting the bed in the last game without Ja Morant. I talked about backing the Lakers in the last game, and was it a setup? I think it absolutely it was, right? Should the Lakers came out and dominated that game? I think so, right? I talked about it from the perspective of, Grizzlies going to be motivated and desperate. Of course they are, right? They don't want to go down 0-2. They hadn't lost back-to-back home games all season, and they stood the test of time again as well. But for the Lakers, they're the much better team. The reports came out about, I think the Lakers are the much better team in this with current form, current roster, right? And the Grizzlies, they do not play well on the road specifically. We've known this. This is something that we've kind of followed throughout the entirety of the season. All of the top teams in the Western Conference struggled on the road, besides the Sacramento Kings, who already lost and play again tomorrow in Golden State. So Grizzlies finished 0-15 straight up on the road, 2-13 against the spread as well when they were road dogs this season. If you look at the games where they were road dogs with low totals, 225 or lower, because this game is projected at 221.5. They finished 0-6 straight up and against the spread, only averaged 106 points per game in that spot. And that was the biggest difference between the Grizzlies being at home versus being on the road. They finished just 2-8 straight up and against the spread in road games without Ja this season as well. So while they were, I think they were 11-10 with Ja overall, those games that they won actually came at home. Just 2-8 straight up and against the spread without Ja on the road. And he's not been ruled out yet, but the reports are that he can't catch a pass. So if you can't catch a pass yesterday, I don't expect you to be able to play in this game. Even if Ja does play, I don't think that he'll be 100%, and I think that they'll miss him today. I think the line is pretty telling also. A lot of the numbers that I talked about yesterday, I didn't back the Knicks. I should have in the full game. Should have at least took them first half. I would have made some money. But a lot of the numbers that I talked about yesterday in regards to the Knicks and all of the trends that I talked about back the Knicks, not only winning that game but also covering the spread yesterday. And of course they did. It was only a 2-point spread, and they came out absolutely turned up on the defensive end and held the Cleveland Cavaliers under their team total. And I think that's what we kind of see from this Lakers team today, because the Grizzlies, while they are so great at home, they finished with the best home record in the NBA. They struggle on the road specifically and a lot in that spot. A lot of it has to do with their scoring. Their offense drops from 116 points per game with Ja on the road to 111 without him. Game threes, historically, just looking at the database, they go under, especially when the series are tied 1-1. History of the database shows me that games are 39, 31, and 4 to the under. That's 55% using the Killer Sports database. If you factor in that the 7th seed, because the Lakers are, you factor in that they're home favorites in game 3, those games are 9-4-1 to the under, 69%. The Grizzlies, top 5 in offensive rating at home, 117.9 this season, and top 8 in pace, 101.38. per NBA advanced stats, but they're just 24th offensively. So offense goes from 5th at home to 24th on the road, just a 111.4 offensive rating. Their defense, it travels well. They finished tied for the first tied in defensive rating on the season with the Cleveland Cavaliers at a 107.4. But on the road, like I said, they bring the defense, 9th in defensive rating on the road. And I think if they stand a chance to even stay in this game with the Lakers, it will be because of their defensive effort and intensity. And that's what we saw in the last game as well. When the Grizzlies are playing their best basketball, because they are, bottom 5 in half-court offense, it is because of their defensive intensity that they bring to the game. So the Lakers, on the opposite side, they finished 7th in defensive rating after the All-Star break at a 110.1. And all reports that I kind of followed up on and listened to, whether it was from LeBron or it's from Coach Ham or AD, reading the quotes, or even Austin Reeves talked about just their lack of attention to detail. So I think that they bring it defensively in this game. What else did I have? I think they play better defensively in this game, like they did in game 1, where they held Memphis to just 47% shooting and 36% from the three-point line. They also dominated the rebounds and they kept their turnovers down. The Lakers and the Grizzlies, one thing that they both have in common is that their best offense is their ability to be able to get steals, to get blocks, to get rebounds, and run in transition. So I think both of the teams kind of limit themselves in this spot. I did play the under full game, factoring in that the defensive intensity has picked up in the playoffs for both of these teams. I think we see a slower pace. I think we see high defensive intensity and a do or die. The team that win games 3 typically go on to win the series. So Ja Morant, game time decision. Like I said, he's having trouble catching passes due to the bruised right hand. If he's ruled out, I think the total drops even lower. So I did play the under 221. widely available, I think, on most sports books still. If Ja gets ruled out, this total will drop. So I went ahead and played it early because if Ja's ruled in, I don't think it'll go up too much, and I think that he still won't be as effective, and also could potentially hurt the team. With him being out there, especially not being 100% if the hand is as bad as the report said it they are. So in recap, the plays that I did take today are going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 plays. They all at the bottom for you guys. Hit the like button for me, comment your best plays, and subscribe to the videos if you're watching on YouTube. Like I said, it's gonna be a shorter show. Not in the best of moods today, man. I got smacked up yesterday. And I need my money back. So this is what I played. They're all at the bottom. Philly, Brooklyn, first quarter over, first half over, full game over. Phoenix and the Clippers tonight over 227, and the Lakers and Memphis under 221.5. I also strongly lean, haven't put it in yet, to the Grizzlies team total to go under as well. I just think the Lakers bring it defensively in this spot tonight, and I think the Grizzlies going to struggle to score the ball. The intensity for the Lakers, I will say, I think it picks up a lot tonight. So 1, 2, like I said, what is that? 5 plays, 3, 4, 5 plays tonight. Potentially could add 2 more. So that's how I'm kind of looking at the games today, man. Y'all let me know what y'all on. If you got a request or a play you feel strongly about, let me know what you guys are thinking, and I'll get up a few people real quick. And then we're gonna get up out of here. The show will be available for playback on YouTube. Also, if you're listening on Twitter and you want to come over on YouTube, let me know. Just click the link that I tweeted out, and and you guys can follow on YouTube as well. Also, if you guys are interested in the membership, shoot me a DM. There's a join button, $5.99, to get you access to all my plays as soon as I post them. My analysis, my thoughts, exclusive videos, all that good stuff as well. So that's what I got, man. Fred, you up first. What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
What's going on, Chris? How you doing, bro?
Man, I could be better, bro. I got smacked up last night, but it's all good. We let it fight another day. Bounce back coming. What up? What up with you, Fred?
Facts, man. It could have been a better day yesterday. Quick recap: Tatum hit on the base assist. Couldn't climb on the ladder though, so that kind of hurt me. So I, barely straight by on that. And then Karl-Anthony Towns came through at least. But the big one that hurt, man, Emmanuel quickly, man. The 1.5 threes hit, the 3 did not, and then the points I got hooked. I couldn't believe it, man. They were freaking chanting Derrick Rose, man. He stole like 4 minutes of garbage time. And I think Derrick Rose took like 5 shots in those times too. So
ain't make none of them. You're right.
Sure quickly would have got at least a point, and that should kill me. I'm not gonna lie.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I lost like half a unit, almost a unit yesterday. So I mean, it is what it is. But a couple plays I got. First one I went, I like Tobias Harris today, man. 16.5 points. Just think it's a little too low with, Joel being out, more shots. Pace should pick up with Joel. And then, when star players like that is out, you don't have to rely on, getting him the ball. You almost you feel like pressured, like you got to pass it to him, And I just think it's, good spots. He's been playing good this series, so. I see a lot of people on Maxey. That's not a bad look either. Maxey should go off. I just think his line's a little too inflated, but I say that and he'll have 20 at halftime. So, but I'll take Tobias 16.5. And then another one I took, it's on DraftKings. I don't know if FanDuel got it. I'm taking Nick Claxton at 3.5 points in the first quarter. I think he gets 2 lobs or just 2 putbacks or something in this first quarter. He was eating last time they played. He got freaking ejected, which was fucking bullshit. So I think he'll look to come out and just score. I think they'll have Paul Reed or maybe Harold. I'm not too sure what they're gonna do. Or they go small. I'm not too sure, but I think he gets 4 points in the first quarter. He'll be a big part of them. Winning this game, and I think it's like a sigh of relief. Like you don't got to go against Joel Embiid. He's probably licking his chops. Like it could be a ladder spot for him too, maybe. So I think he had like 15 before he got ejected. So yeah, and then the last play, I'm going AD, man, 22.5 points, man. If AD don't get 23 points today in this game, I'm not too sure what to say. I think it's just a good spot. He got embarrassed by Xavier Tillman last time. If he has any pride, he should come out gunning. They might double, and stuff like that. But I look for the Lakers to get the ball in his hands in better spots where he can make decisions quicker and get shots up. And I just think he eats today, honestly. So yeah.
Okay. So AD 22.5, Tobias 16.5, and Claxton over 3.5 in the first quarter.
Yep.
Okay. I'll tell you guys one thing real quick. I looked this up last night before I fell asleep, and I forgot to mention because I didn't write it down. If I'm another player prop, I talked about Bridges just briefly. But if I'm looking at a player prop in this game, I like Harden. We've been kind of picking on Harden and taking his under in points, and I'm not looking towards his points. I think his rebounds and assists are absolutely in play today. 15.5, I think it was minus 120. And I don't know if I played it or not. I don't think I played it. I was falling asleep capping it last night, but I absolutely like Harden in this spot. Could be triple double Harden. Like I said, the pace is gonna be great, I think, in this one. And Harden should be the guy, in my estimation, that goes down there and crashes the rebound. He's one of the best, rebounding guards in quite a while. The assist potential, the potential assists going to continue to be there as well. So I like Harden over 15.5 points plus. Assists plus rebounds. If I'm looking at anything in that game, but couldn't talk you off Tobias if you think he's going to be the guy. Right? I've never gotten Tobias right. I'm probably like 0-3 lifetime betting on Tobias, and I haven't done it probably since 2012.
I'm going to this thing with my eyes closed. So
Nah, I like it, bro. I like it. Best of luck to you. Whatever.
One last thing. I was looking at also maybe it's like a lean. I kind of like Spencer Dinwiddie too, 17.5 points. I just think like with Joel being out, a lot of his like scoring opportunities come on just like getting by people and then like getting a lot of layups. And when Joel is there, it's just there's
a little more difficult, right, for sure.
And there's many times he went in there and got his shit swatted. So I think he can maybe step up in a big game, big minutes. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Spencer Dinwiddie, somebody else we was picking on at the beginning of the season, but back against the wall, man. Spencer Dinwiddie can hoop, bro. We'll see what happens today for sure. Might be a couple. Like I said, I know I'm looking to play Philly on the money line, but I don't want to take it live. I think Brooklyn maybe start the game a little bit hotter, and then I can get a live line. But I hope you catch the looks, Fred. I appreciate you sharing those as well, my guy. James, I want to come to you, and then we got two OGs in the building, Prop Bomb and Monotone are here, so I definitely want to hear what their takes are on today's game as well. What's going on, James?
Top of the morning, my guy, or top of the afternoon.
Yeah, for sure. On the East Coast, anyway.
Yeah. Recap yesterday real quick. I went 3-1. Who was the one who messed me up? Oh, my guy Oneka. I ain't gonna quit my guy though. I ain't gonna quit him. But he the only one who messed up. But Jokic, I just felt like he was gonna have a triple double. I told you I had no idea why, but he ended up getting it. And I gave out John Collins 2 threes at plus 190. He hit that too. He ain't get to 700. So good day. Try to build on that today. I got a bunch of plays, so I ain't gonna talk y'all ear off, man. But yeah, I got a bunch of plays today. So y'all know the vibes. Royce O'Neal, over 7.5 rebounds and assists. He's gone over this line 10 of the last 13 games in every playoff game except for last playoff game, when he finished with 7. Now, my guy Game, I believe Game, he brought this up. We was talking about it on the timeline. If you peep Royce O'Neal, he's had 2 rebounds and assists at halftime all 3 of these games, and finished with 9, 9, and 7. So I can't talk you off live betting. I'm just not going to do that, but that's how it's gone. It's literally every game he's had 2 at halftime, and then he's gone over the number or hooked the number. So for whatever that's worth. I'm also on Royce O'Neal over 2.5 assists. I got it at minus 130. It's probably still widely available around there. The line creeped up last game to 3.5. He didn't cover it, didn't come close to covering it. Then it went back to this 2.5 number. This 2.5 number is the sweet spot for Royce. He's covered this assist line 8 of his last 9 games. So I'm rock with him there. When I heard my guy Chris was on this Philly, matter of fact, I'm subscribed to the damn members channel. I just got to find out where to find the picks. But when I found out, but I did subscribe, my guy, finally.
My guy, appreciate that, Jay.
Yeah. But when I seen you was on this Philly over, I'm like, yes, because I'm a prop guy, and you everything, guys. When I seen you like what I like, I'm like, hey. So basically, what I got for this game, Philly played 16 games without Embiid this year. They only went under this number of 209 twice. And the Nets, they've only gone under this number 3 times since March 1st. So I just feel like the books may not have adjusted to this low total series with Embiid being out. Nets, they're going to try and push it regardless. And Harden does slow the game down. But, I mean, you're taking Embiid out. So it's just like, it's not double slowed down, if that make any sense. So, yeah, give me that Philly over. Gabe Vincent over an 11 and a half points. I gave out the 9.5 a couple games ago. I'm still on the 11 and a half. He's covered that in 10 of his 13 games. Without Tyler Hero, he's also got 10 plus shot attempts every single game this season without Tyler Hero except for one, and he had 9. So yeah, we all gave Vincent again over 11 and a half points. I got it at minus 113. I'm not sure what it is. I got that on FanDuel. And all this stuff on my page, if I'm talking too fast or you miss something, it's all on my timeline. But I just try to keep it going, keep it quick because other people that got to talk. I took the Bucks -4 a couple days ago. Still like them. I just think they're a better team, and I think the Heat are gonna struggle without Tyler Hero. I just think they are. And I think last game was an anomaly, but I still think they're not nearly as good as the Bucks with or without Giannis. I still think the Bucks come in here and win pretty convincingly. So I got the Bucks -4. Harden over 8.5 assists. I got it at -140 at Caesars. It's at DraftKings at -150. I don't lay a bunch of juice, but if I was gonna lay a bunch of juice, I stop at 145. But Harden over 8.5 assists would make me go over today, just because I don't know why this number is like this. Without Embiid, his number is normally 10.5. Like I've been watching Harden all year. So the fact that it's 8.5 juiced, I'll drink the juice. Can't talk you off the 10, but I'll drink the juice. And that brings me to my blunt money bets. Harden triple-double. Chris, he read my mind. Yeah, plus 1,000 at DraftKings. How could you not take that?
Mm-hmm.
You're going for rebounds. So, yeah. If you want to just play it safe and take Paul Reed double-double at plus 200 on FanDuel, I can't talk you off that neither. But I took Harden triple-double at plus 1,000. And Gabe Vincent, 6 assists, is plus 700 on FanDuel. I posted this game log on my timeline. You can see he gets close to 6 assists a lot of times without Tyler Hero. And him to score 20 points is plus 800 right now. I got it for 750, but Gabe Vincent to score 20 points is plus 800. That's what I'm on. I've been doing great this playoffs. I'm trying not to give it all back, but I got to shoot. So that's what I'm on.
Absolutely, Jay. I like the looks, man, and I like that you didn't got ahead of me because like I said, I got to look into that Heat game a little bit more. But I know Gabe Vincent was a cash cow. Absolutely love the Royce O'Neal look, especially with. I think he should be able to do a little bit more. I know I missed on him the other day, and it feels like he should be able to do a little bit more to daydream on the offensive end, as far as shooting, as far as scoring, as far as assisting, being that he don't have 290 pounds kind of leaning up on him the whole entire game. And, he don't got that defensive responsibility of being able to slow down a guy like Embiid. So I like Royce a lot today, man. I like Royce a lot. I hadn't even thought about Royce, but Harden, like I said, rebounds plus assists, 15.5, not official play, but like that look a lot. Dream got the looks, man. Like you said, everything posted on his page. I always tell you how to follow him because it's easier. People every single time I'm doing the show, somebody asks, "What's the guy's the speaking Twitter handle?" And I put it up here every single time. Mr. Dreamy One is Dream's Twitter, so definitely shoot Dream a follow. And I hope you catch the looks. Dream got a lot of good looks today, man. I like him a lot. Prop Bomb, I want to come to you, man, and then Monotone, I want to come to you. What's up, Prop? I ain't talked to you in a minute, man. How you doing?
Hey, what's going on, Chris? Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I've been meaning to join your spaces. I just never get like a second of my day to just, just like right now, to just hang out with you guys and share my thoughts and plays about the slate. But hey, we got today, so I want to talk about a few things that I like. Maybe get some of your thoughts and some interesting trends that I have found that may be some help for people listening.
Absolutely, Prop. What you got, man? Always.
All right.
First of all, you don't got to apologize for not being here, Prop. It's always going to be open to you. You know that. You already know that. But people get busy, man, in and out. It's no hard feelings for people who can't come in, who can come in. We just, love the conversation, love making money even more so. So appreciate you being here, Prop, and already thankful that you just here today, man, for sure.
Like monotones in this spaces too, and he could vouch. Like, he is trying to get me on his show like almost every single week, and I just can't like get the chance to, especially on the weekdays. Like, people don't know this, but like I don't just do this. I actually have another job that I'm balancing, so I'm working 2 jobs at once.
That's a
I'm
fact.
always on the clock 24/7.
That's
so
a fact.
Like, it really is hard to do this, but
yes, sir.
I'm definitely trying to get on some shows though, like next season and everything. But anyways, to the games today, we only got 4 games, which is good because it's more than 2 or 3 that we've been having this week. I have 2 official props right now that I put out. We got you were talking about James Harden. I put it out, James Harden under. I'm going to the under on him. People are like, oh, playoff James Harden, 2018, he averaged 35 points per game. He has not, I don't know if people have, like, come back to reality, but, like, these last 2 years, he just has not looked his MVP level self. The last 7 games without Joel Embiid, he's gone under 24 points in 5 of those 7 games.
Mm-hmm.
Those 2 games that he's gone over against the Indiana Pacers, they don't play defense. Against the Washington Wizards, and he got 24 points. So he went over that by 1 point. Other than that, he goes under that in 5 of the 7 games. And the thing about James Harden on offense, when he has the ball, James Harden ranks number 1 in the league in terms of isolation frequency. Number 2 is actually Spencer Dinwiddie, surprisingly. But the Brooklyn Nets in the playoffs, I have this in front of me right now, on defense in terms of play type with isolation. So they've actually seen the most frequency of all teams in isolation, and they have an effective field goal percentage of 48%, which is the 71st percentile, which is actually really good. And most of that, I think, has to come down to is Mikal Bridges. So he's like one of the best, honestly, right now in the playoffs, 2-way players. He does the offense, and he's really good on defense. So if he's going to be locking down James Harden, then without Joel Embiid, you got other guys that are going to help around. You got Cam Johnson, Royce O'Neal, who doesn't have to be on Joel Embiid anymore to really double and prevent James Harden from driving and having for him to shoot like these low percentage 3-point shots. I like the chances on James Harden to go under here. And then the person, I forgot the name, who was just talking, mentioned Royce O'Neal. If you guys remembered and followed, I was on his over 10.5 points and assists last game. He was like 2 for 7. And he had like 9 PA. I still would recommend going back to it. It's a lean of mine, the Royce O'Neal. I don't know what the minutes are going to look like. Maybe they'll be comfortable running out Day'Ron Sharp now that Embiid's not there, because they can combat, like the Brooklyn Nets going a little bit big. I don't know too much. I would rather just be more focused in on the starters. So I'm just going to stick with James Harden. But on the other side of the game, I got Spencer Dinwiddie over 8.5 assists. He's actually not hit this yet in the playoffs. He's got 6.77 or 6.76. But what is encouraging for taking a Spencer Dinwiddie assist prop is that you look at the potential assists. Last game, he had 20 potential assists. The game before that, he had 21. And that's 41 combined, and he's only converted on 13 of those. So there is a lot of room to convert more. And without Joel Embiid for the 76ers, it's going to be a lot more easier for alley-oops to Nicholas Claxton, for just more conversions. And I think we're getting at a good number, 8.5. If he was converting at least 50% of those the last 2 games, this number would be at 9.5 today. So I think this is a discount. And I think we get some positive regression for the Nets here to finally score some baskets and hopefully take this to a game 5 and not get swept. So that's my thoughts on that game. Suns, Clippers, I would say I have to see what the starting lineup looks like. Maybe they run out Bones Highland at point guard. I mean, that worked for them in the second half.
Mm-hmm.
They played micro ball as what the commentators talking about. I mean, like Zubac didn't even play in the fourth quarter. I think that could be a scenario. I don't know what the starting lineup is going to look like, but I was looking at Devin Booker over 4.5 assists as a lean. Maybe they try to key in on him. And he's been a guy that's kind of been consistent with facilitating and passing opportunities. So that was a look. Westbrook over 16.5 rebounds and assists. I think he had 21 last game. 19 potential assists, 12 potential rebounds. I mean, that looks good too. I got to look more into that. I mean, honestly, I just was super into the Nets 76ers game. And then the trend I wanted to share, though, for the Grizzlies-Lakers game, check this out. So as road underdogs, the Memphis Grizzlies are 0-15 straight up.
Mm-hmm.
And 2-13
against the spread.
Against the spread.
I talked about that. Yeah, bro. And if you add in that the total is low, right? Because their offense is so bad. If you add in that the total is 225 or lower, they're 0-6 in that spot, straight up and against the spread, losing those games by an average of 15 points.
Yeah. They lost 22 consecutive games as road underdogs.
Mm-hmm.
So gotta love the Lakers this game. Also, too, I gotta give out a Miami Heat prop here. I'm looking at Max Strus over 5.5 rebounds and assists. I want to see if I can get that MGM a little bit later at better odds. It's like minus 134 right now. But without Tyler Hero, Max Strus is a lock to play at least 35 minutes for the Miami Heat. They're trusting him in the rotation. And you look at the last 7 games where Max Strus has played at least 30 minutes without Tyler Hero, including the playoffs. He's hit 6+ rebounds and assists in all those games. So that was a heavy lean I have right now. I'm also just waiting to see what's up with Giannis today. I think he does play. I'll be at the game, so I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe the Heat play Haywood Highsmith. If anyone doesn't know who that is, he played 20+ minutes in both those games. Spo always knows. He always has a plan in the back of his head. You never know who's going to be playing for the Heat. So maybe Giannis under. I mean, Miami likes to build a wall against him, let the other guys, the Grayson Allens, Middletons beat the Heat. So that's what I'm thinking. Just rambling right now, but those are my thoughts, honestly, Chris.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that, prop. I think, we always just come in here and, try to, give analysis based on what we read, based on what we see, based on, what we hear. So I like it, prop. I appreciate you sharing the looks. And even if they're just your leans, somebody else might have been feeling one of those plays, and, hearing you, talk about it enough is validating enough for them to, actually make it an official play for them, even though you said, these were just leans that you kind of got to look more into, prop. So always appreciate the analysis, man. Anytime prop can come through, it's always a blessing to, to the community, man. So appreciate you for coming through, prop, and sharing the looks as well. Enjoy the game today as well, man. Enjoy the game. Monotone, I know you've been waiting for a minute, man. I want to kick it to you. What's up, Monotone?
Nothing much, man. We just got a great slate today. A lot of great picks already given out so far. I've got a couple of different ones as well, like always. I've been coming in here doing first quarter for a long time, and I get a lot of questions on why I'm betting these kind of weird markets. I think today's a great example of why. I went Tobias Harris over 1.5 first quarter rebounds, minus 137 on Caesars, minus 140 on DraftKings. And the reason I love it so much, this has a 100% success rate without Embiid during the regular season. He has over 2 first quarter rebounds in 14 of 14 games without Embiid this year, and 24 of his last 25 dating back to last year. He absolutely smashes this number no matter what the surrounding cast is around him, no matter what other players are there. And it's just such a great spot. He's averaging 2.3 first quarter rebounds in his playoff career. That's 47 games. So he's already regularly hitting this number with Embiid in the lineup. Now we get him without Embiid in the lineup and a higher usage role right here. Absolutely love Tobias Harris. I think the general full game rebounds are good too, but I just think the huge edge is in the first quarter market, and it's one of those that the books just don't adjust. They're not paying enough attention to, and I think it's a perfect example of absolutely crushing them on it. So I love Tobias Harris, 2 first quarter rebounds. I do have another rebounding prop in that game as well, and it is a ladder play. I took Dorian Finney-Smith ladder rebounds. It's betting on the same kind of principle right here. Without Joel Embiid, we're going to see some pretty extreme small ball, whether it's Reed down there. I do not think we're going to see any Montrezl Harrell. I don't know if you guys have seen this guy recently. He looks like 30 pounds heavier than he did when he was good, and that's really not a good sign for a guy that his athleticism was his whole thing. I don't know what he's trying to do. He looks like he's trying to be like a budget Andre Drummond right now, which is a terrible career pivot. So if anyone here knows Montrezl Harrell, let him know he's got to drop a couple pounds. So I don't think he's coming out. I think we're going to see extreme small ball. Dorian Finney-Smith has posted 7 and 9 rebounds in each of his last 2 games. The minutes are trending upwards. We saw 27. Now we saw 36. I think the 36 minute is going to be where we're at the whole series, right? This is one of those guys that this is perfect for him. He can play that small ball center. He's done it in Dallas before when they asked him in the playoffs. The only difference is then he had to guard the opposing best team's number 1 player, right? Now he doesn't. They have Mikal Bridges, who's an even better defender. So he gets even more rebound opportunities because he's not out there defending the best players. So you can get like 5 rebounds at minus money, but I really like 7 is plus 210, and you can get 10 rebounds at plus 930. Or if you have DraftKings, it's plus 1,300 in the same game parlay. So love those 2 early games right there. Tobias Harris, over 1.5 first quarter rebounds, and then the Dorian Finney-Smith ladder on his full game rebounds. Haven't gone too hard outside of this game yet. So far, Russell Westbrook, 9.5 assists is plus 120. You can also get it at 9 even on Prize Picks if you're a Prize Picks user. Absolutely love Russ in this high-paced situation. It's one of those, like, this is a totally different team. They went from Kawhi Leonard, isolation, slower pace, to let's run in transition. That's what Russell Westbrook is. We have a long history of seeing what he's going to do when he's in the driver's seat. So I love Russell Westbrook to get those 10 assists. And then somebody already mentioned it, but I am on Gabe Vincent as well again today without Tyler Hero. Has a great history. I think Gabe Vincent should continue to kill. So that'll be one of my article plays later today. But love this slate. Think we got some great angles. And if you're not a first quarter person, you never heard of it, give it a try today. Tobias Harris over 1.5 first quarter rebounds.
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Monotone find these angles that nobody else even looks at, man. Dude, originality is off the chain, bro. I love it. I love it. And I love the success rate as well. Appreciate you sharing the looks and coming through, Monotone, as always, my guy, as always. Let me kick it to Stephen. Stephen, you up next, man. What's going on?
Hey, listen, I don't really have anything to say. Monotone is a legend. So
that's a fact. That's a fact.
Bro, I literally came in here to talk about Dorian Finney-Smith, and he said it better than I could have ever said it. So I don't really have much to say. 1-3 yesterday. Thank God Isaiah Hartenstein got back in the game and saved that freaking PRA. He played season-long minutes. But I actually wanted to pick your brain. What are your thoughts on going back to Anthony Davis on that blocks ladder? He's just been a monster.
Absolutely.
I think that the Lakers are going to roll today. I'm a big fan. I think he's going to put on a masterclass.
Absolutely, Stephen.
Run it.
Yeah. You got to run it, bro. I mean, just, it's all, we talk about zigzag theories, right? Like teams playing well, and then everybody's going to be off of them because they played, so bad in the last game. Of course, they got to come back out and redeem themselves and yada, yada, yada. But I think that, I think that's transparent for players as well, right? Like, I talked about taking Devin Booker in the last game under, because first of all, I thought Kawhi was going to be in. I thought it was going to be a defensive, type game where the Clippers go under at home specifically. But, players zigzag as well, especially when they call themselves out. I think Quickly would have got, his over with his full allotment of minutes yesterday, and he had played bad in game 1 and game 2. So, sometimes you're just going to catch the bad spot. But for the Grizzlies specifically, I talked about their offense. They're 5th rated offense at home, but their offensive rating dropped to 26 on the road. So you see that, lack of a big part of it is their offensive rebounding, right? Like, which we know they won't be able to offensive rebound the ball as well without Brandon Clark and Steven Adams. Xavier Tillman, like I said, he about 5'9", he about 6'9". So, I think AD should, definitely anchor the defense as he always does. He called himself out, and I like betting on players that call themselves out. So, I love AD, his blocks today. I would take his steals plus blocks. I would take his blocks in general. I could not talk you off of AD. And I talked about him yesterday, his rebounds specifically, because I feel like the Memphis Grizzlies are going to miss a lot of shots. You see their team total only at 108.5 right now. Extremely low total. So the books are telling you that, they think it's going to be a defensive game. And a lot of the times we kind of scare ourselves off. I wouldn't say I would say me specifically, I'm talking about myself. I kind of scare myself off when I see these low totals. Talked about it yesterday, 211.5 between your Knicks yesterday and the Cavs. These totals are sitting low for a reason, like if you look like a genius yesterday if you would have taken the under, but with a total so low, you're like, I don't really know. Or at least that's what I was thinking. And then into the first quarter, it's 17-17, and I feel like an idiot because I didn't take the under. So, I think it's, totals are low. I think that, leads to more defense, to more rebounding. So I'm expecting a big game from AD today for sure. I will say this stuff. I do think that they, double them, right? I do think they try to make it a little more difficult for him. But you listen to the post-game interviews, which I did this morning when I woke up. Ham talks about, trying to get him the ball in better spacing so that he can either, make a quick decision, whether that's, catch it and go, whether that's, catch it and he swing it, or whatever the case might be. Just try to get him the ball, in a little bit better spacing, almost like Embiid, how Doc has to do with Embiid, so they can't double him, immediately. So maybe he'll catch the ball at the high post today a little bit more than catching it in the corner where it's easy to kind of double team. AD is not the greatest passer. He can pass, but he's not the greatest passer. So, I like AD. I think it's a big game from him today, man, for sure.
Oh, thanks, bro. I appreciate the breakdown.
Absolutely, bro. So I think we got two more real quick. Cam, I want to come to you, and then Great White, and then we're gonna get up out of here. What up, Cam?
Oh, yo, what's good? How's everybody doing?
Good, bro. How about yourself?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I've been a little busy, so I've been trying to be in the chat, I've been up, but hopefully people are tracking in the chat too. I just want to say again, appreciate you having me up. I don't like posting my plays. I just like talking about them. So anybody ever look for my plays, this is kind of where you're going to get them.
Right.
I'm not going to lie. I got this weird superstition about posting my plays. And anyway, let's get into it because defense has been something I've been on. And you guys kind of just touched on one of the plays I'm definitely going at, and that's I got actually three defensive plays in the Clippers Suns game. But I'm probably the two official. The first official is going to be Russell Westbrook over 2.5 stocks at plus 125. He's hit it every single game this series, and it's just if you watch the games again, this is like I've just been watching the activity, right? He's going for these defensive stats, like he's going for steals, he's going for blocks, like he's trying to impact the game on the defensive end, and that's one thing Russ can still do. He's got that athleticism. Booker's pretty small compared to him when you actually look at them side by side, and he's been doing well in that. So plus 125 for Russ, and then AD. We actually messaged you on the side there.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking about it, and it's just like he hit that plus over 4. So I've been specifically targeting stocks on players who can get this number with just one of the steals or blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically targeting it, right? Like Russ can get over 2.5 blocks or steals with just steals or blocks. AD over 4.5 blocks today. That's plus money as well. He can get that with just blocks today, straight up. So that's the next one I'm looking at, and that's plus money as well. So those are my two officials. Oh no, sorry, my third one is James Harden. I'm going back to the wall, and I swear to God, if this guy doesn't get a double-double today, I'm gonna be upset. Like there's no Embiid, there's no this is it. James Harden, just come out, get that double-double, do what you do. It's minus 105. That's a discount today, in my opinion. It's just because he hasn't been getting there, but his potential assists have been very high, and then he got ejected the last game, as we know. But minus 105, James Harden on his double-double. So those are my three plays. The defensive plays, I'm 6-2 on them. Take them if you want them, but I've been really tracking the defensive plays this playoffs because that's kind of where it's a different season. But those are like my threes. That's how I look at it. It's kind of like the same market for me when I look at usage. Guys are just playing harder. You look at the ante, like moving forward, everybody should be looking at guys like LeBron James, Jimmy Butler, and Edwards. The way they're playing defense in these playoffs is they're hitting these over 2.5, over 1.5. DeJounte Murray, Marcus Smart, all these guys are hitting their defensive. Like go look at it. They're hitting them at a very high level. So those are my three plays.
Okay. AD stocks, Westbrook stocks, and Harden double-double. I think we got some great analysis, I think, overall on on Harden today. I think everybody can win too. I talked about his rebounds plus assists. And if you like that look, then you absolutely got to like the double. Well, if you like, let's start with Dream. Dream said he liked the sprinkle, the blunt money bet on Kawhi without a timetable for return. He might not even come back this season. But anyway, going back to Harden real quick, just to kind of wrap up the analysis. I think if you like the blunt money bet that Dream talked about, with James Harden triple double. You automatically got to like what Cam said about the double-double. And if you like the double-double, you got to like what I said about the rebounds plus assists at 15.5. But, everybody being high on Harden doesn't necessarily mean that he's going to get to his points prop, because Prop Bomb brought up an interesting point as well about him staying under, which is also something that I looked at as well. The reason I didn't go back to Harden today is because he cashed the over last game. But, back against the wall, I think that all three of these plays could absolutely cash today. I like the under on his points. The double-double is worth the sprinkle. The triple-double is also worth the sprinkle. And, if you're going to play anything, you definitely want to take the rebounds and assists over 15.5. So I think, really great analysis. Everybody kind of looking a different way to play Harden. And, all of those could absolutely cash today.
And shout out Dream, man. Dream's been killing it this playoffs. I've been tailing Dream on multiple plays. He saved a few of my night already. So shout out Dream, man. This guy's been killing it.
Yeah.
I can't wait to the show today, but this guy's been absolutely killing it.
For
so
sure.
Everybody should be following Dream, because it's monster. Between you and Dream right now, you've been tailing those two plays. Whatever plays you guys putting out, everybody's making money. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Hopefully we can keep it going, man. Hopefully we can keep it going. Some regression for me recently, but hopefully we can kind of keep it going. Shout out to Frag too. Frag been killing too. I know Big Cat came through for Frag last night, man. I should have got there, but I didn't. Had to. I read reports too. Chris Finn said they was gonna try to find more spacing for him, so that he could get his looks. But Big Cat came through. Shout out to Frag as well, man. Great White, you up next? What's going on, my guy? How you doing?
Doing good, brother. Doing good. First time on the show on a Saturday.
Right. It could be different, man. It definitely could be different. What we looking at today, Great White?
All right, so went 3-2. Knicks money line that was my max play yesterday. They came through for everybody. Props, they did okay too, thanks to Cat. He actually decided to play, with a nutsack. So, thank God for him. I'm coming out clear, right?
Yeah, you good.
All right, so I think it was Prop that brought up Max Strus. That was one of my plays. That over 5.5 rebound and assist. That was actually my max play that I wanted to give out a couple of nights ago, but I couldn't because I couldn't get on. But yeah, he kills it with Hero when Hero's not on there. 5, 6, he even hits 7, 8, no problem. So I don't got much to add on because pretty much Prop covered all the bases that I had written down already. Then I got Tyrese Maxey for over 2.5 3-pointers made. It's a little juice, but after I saw the numbers, I had to take it. He's cashed this in 7 of the last 10 games, including every single game this series versus the Nets. He's also cashed this 9 in his last 10 road games. With no Joel on the floor, there's going to be more shot opportunities for Maxey today. They're going to need him if they want to get the sweep. Then to stay on the same game, I also got Tobias Harris over 23.5 points and rebounds. He's been averaging 26.6 points and rebounds in the 12 games he's played without Embiid this year. He's also crossed this number in 9 of his last 12 games overall. And in the series versus Brooklyn, he's crossed it twice, and the one time he didn't cross it, he was at 22. So one more basket or rebound assist, he goes over it. He's also crossed this in 4 of his 6 games versus Brooklyn this year. And I have one lean, which is Mikal Bridges. Same game, Mikal Bridges over 27.5 points. It's pretty much almost at plus money. I think the books are trying to scare people to not take it. Mikal Bridges in game 1 had 30. And last game he had 26, and he shot like 9 for 26. There's no Embiid. Mikal Bridges, he likes to drive to the basket. I think he's one of the best in the game. So there's going to be more spacing for him to attack the paint. I wouldn't be surprised if Mikal Bridges drops 35 tonight on the 76ers. Like, they really need him tonight. But I expect him to at least, get to 28. That's my one lean. Those are my other 3 official plays. hopefully everybody cashes all their plays tonight, man.
Absolutely, Gray. Why I was already leaning towards Bridges to go over, but you bring up a lot of good points. Yeah, I like Bridges a lot today, man. I didn't, like I said, I'm probably gonna stay off, but you talk about the lack of rim protection. So now he could be a 3-level scorer. Paul Reed's not gonna do that much defensively. I do worry just a tad bit about Doc potentially sending a double team at him. We know in game 2, I think it was, that he had 23 at halftime and he only finished with 30 because they started to send a double at him, which maybe then you kind of look at his assist to go over if they if he starts off the game kind of hot, but we'll see. We'll definitely see. I think it'll be a big adjustment period for sure with this team. Real quick, I want to just factor in Joel Embiid off the floor real quick on cleaning the glass with let's see if we can get Harden in and Maxey. Let's see, Tyrese Maxey in, Tobias Harris in, let's just look at that real quick. So the other guys can potentially change, but I'm pretty sure PJ Tucker will be out there for his defense. So looking at the season, it looks like the Sixers are a plus 4.5 in point differential this season over 509 possessions, where Harden is off the Embiid is off the floor, but Harden, Maxey, and Tobias are on the floor. They're scoring. They're ranked in the 88th percentile as far as points per 100 possessions at 88. I'm sorry, at 119.6. And their defense, like I said, it takes a dive off the cliff. They're allowing 115.2 points per 100 possessions, and opponents are shooting 54.4% effective field goal percentage as well. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why I kind of like the over. I think the Sixers will try to run. They'll play with pace. And I played, like I said, I played a half unit on the first quarter, first half. But I do think that the total is just a tad bit too low without the market adjusting. So trifecta spot for me on the total to go over in this game. It is going up, so the market is agreeing with me as well. And if I had a player prop, it would be Harden over his rebounds and assists. But I think, like I said, Prop Bomb made a good point about his points going under. Maxey probably the guy, man. I know, nobody's really, mentioned him specifically to go over his points prop, but Maxey's the guy that kills when Embiid's not in there. So, he'll have a lot more usage today for sure. So that's the way I'm kind of looking at the game. All my official plays are at the bottom. I talked about the trifecta spot for Philly and Brooklyn today. Also, Clippers and the Suns to go over 227, and I'm on the under in the Laker game. I'm probably going to add the Lakers in some form of way. I'll tell you guys my analysis on the Lakers in Memphis game, and then I'll get out of here. I know Scarface been waiting for a minute too. I want to get Scarface up real quick because I do got to get off here. But so I want to get Scarface up. But this is what I looked at, right? So Prop Bomb mentioned this, and I kind of mentioned it earlier as well. But the Grizzlies, they're terrible on the road as dogs, right? 0-15 straight up. They haven't won a game yet. They don't cover a lot of spreads, only 2-13, but they actually play well early in games, right? It's the third quarter and the fourth quarter, which is something that I alluded to in game 1 when I talked about if the Memphis Grizzlies are in the lead in the first half, and specifically at the end of the third quarter to live bet the Lakers, and we see the Lakers win the fourth quarter. The Lakers are a minus, I think, 27 in the first half between these two teams. And then in the second half, they're plus 34. We saw it in the last game as well. The Lakers were down double digits at halftime. They battled all the way back, cut the lead to 6 before losing the game by, I think, 10. So the Grizzlies are good in the first quarter, and then the first half is not until, you start to see the second half of the game where they typically, just kind of, they play with so much energy and effort that it kind of just goes to waste. And that's also, if you go look at EV analytics, which is something that I looked at as well, the Lakers have a negative record as far as first quarter, first half at home over the last 10 games. And I say last 10 games at home because, you need a sample size, after the All-Star break with AD, with Bron, Vanderbilt, Hachimura, Russell, and those guys. The Grizzlies have actually done well on the road at the beginning of the game. So that kind of talked me off. I know me and Frag talked about it, and I said I got some more work to do yesterday at the end of the show. while I want to jump on the Lakers and I think that they should come out here and absolutely dominate this first quarter, the numbers and the trends kind of say otherwise. So if the game is close at halftime, I think you take a live line on the Lakers. But if the Lakers came out and punched first, it really wouldn't surprise me a lot at all. I think they do got to kind of set the tone. I really want to get there with the Lakers first quarter. I think it's a -1.5. The first half, I think it's a -2. But like I said, you can kind of wait, see what happens with Westbrook. But not with Westbrook, I'm sorry, with Ja Morant. And maybe you get a better number. If you want to take the Lakers, you probably want to get in now, because I do think that him playing, I don't think he's going to impact this line too much at all. With him being out there, the Lakers will kind of test that hand. Kind of test that hand. Vanderbilt will be guarding him, so it's going to be tough against for him to score. He didn't score many points before getting injured and playing 30 minutes in the first game as well. So I wanted to kind of include that real quick. Scarface, what's going on, my guy? How you doing?
What's up, Chris? What's up, man?
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing good, man. Just want to thank you for everything you do for the community. I just had one play today.
What you got?
Nets first quarter.
Okay.
I want to know what you think about that.
Yeah, I can't talk you off, man. I think super desperation spot. Bridges gonna be turned up, man. They're gonna be turned up at Barclay in about 20 minutes. They probably already turned up. So I couldn't talk you off. It could be adjustment period as well, Scarface, for the Sixers without Embiid. I don't like backing teams when they don't have they have like a rotational piece that's missing, and Embiid is way more than a rotational piece. So I couldn't talk you off. This is my thing, though, Scarface. This is why I don't want to back the Nets, in this spot, is because I think Paul Reed and however Doc Rivers and that coaching staff have lost the minutes that Joel Embiid would typically get. I think all of those guys are going to play hard too. So full game. I don't feel confident enough. I'll say this: first quarter, I don't feel like confident enough in just putting my money down on it. But I couldn't talk you off of it. I know it's like a pick 'em, right? I think it's like -0.5 point because I looked at it earlier when I looked at the total. I just think it's going to be a fast-paced game, and to me, I think the total is a little bit more indicative of just them both teams kind of getting up and down the floor, being able to run.
Yeah. I just think the Nets should want it more. You know what I'm saying? Like, they should come out with that intensity, knowing that they down, especially Claxton getting thrown out the game last time. I think he comes out and really shows out from getting thrown out the game last time.
Yeah.
Even if they don't win the game, I feel like first quarter they should at least be giving it all they got.
That's a fact, bro. I think looking at absolutely, bro. I think looking at Claxton numbers would probably benefit as well. Scarface, dude's extremely humble, man. Like I watched the post game interview actually right before I started the show, and he was just talking about how he made a bonehead play. Like he should have. He shouldn't have did that, and that's it's a growth moment for him. He could have mucked it up and said, "Nah, they shouldn't have threw me out," and yada yada yada. He took it on the chest like a man, and you got to respect that, especially from a young player like him. So I like Claxton, man. I think he could assert his dominance in this series. Specifically today, because Philly, one thing that they do is they don't allow a lot of 3-pointers, and we talked about that, from the beginning of the series. They're one of the better 3-point defensive team in the NBA. So that's a strength of the Brooklyn Nets, of course, which is why I didn't think that they would do well in this series. But you can kind of feast sometimes on Philly in the paint. They give up points in the paint all the time. So you kind of talk him into Claxton, looking at his numbers, man. I like it, Scarface. I like it, bro.
All right, man. Hope you crash, man. Thank you.
Absolutely, bro. Best of luck to you as well. Monotone, finish this out, man. What's going on?
Yeah, you just mentioned the Lakers a second ago, too. I just wanted to shout out my guy, Rui Hachimura.
Oh, yeah. Straight from D.C. Well, straight from Japan to D.C. I like it.
Exactly. I came here last year all the time betting on Rui, and I'm glad he's doing it in the playoffs now. And I do think his lines are actually a bit solid, too. You can get plus 145 for 2 threes right now. And then what I did for my bigger play is I ran Rui Hachimura just to hit 1 3. That's all you need. And Jaren Jackson Jr. to get 2 blocks. That's a -120 same game parlay right there. Obviously, we know JJJ very consistent on the blocks. Got that in both games. And man, small rotations with the Lakers. You know better than I do. But Rui's, he's going to get another 30 minutes. They're giving him a chance.
Yeah,
that's
a fact.
Defense is letting him get those wide open looks, and he's taking advantage of it. So,
yeah.
Shout out Rui.
Yeah, and that's a fact, Monotone. Monotone been talking about before people knew who Rui Hachimura was, bro. Monotone was talking about him last year, early in the season. That's a fact, Monotone. I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being a DC beat writer for us, man. Last year, nobody watching the Wizards, nobody cares about him. I got Monotone locked in listening to Drew Gooden and who else is there? The other commentator, Chris. What's his name? Chris Johnson. Chris Jack.
It's Chris something. What
Chris
is it, Carter. Chris something.
I can't. Yeah, you know who I'm talking about. Brown skin guy with the low haircut. He funny. They funny, bro. I like hearing them call the game. But yeah, shout out to Monotone, man. Hopefully you guys got a chance to listen to that parlay that he talked about as well with Jared Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year, getting those 2 blocks added as well. Dream, what's up?
Now, real quick, just want to say, I know you're finna wrap this thing up. So I'm gonna say it for you if you don't say it. Everybody go on that YouTube membership and subscribe to his membership page, man. It's $2.99. I paid for the $5.99. You get picks and all this other stuff I'm gonna try and use, but man, I'm telling y'all, it's $50 a year, $60 a year, and I just gotta say this. I gotta go out my way and say this real quick. Like, for bro to come on here and do this every day, whether we have a winner or losing night, like that's huge. Like that's everybody different. I'm not him, but I know for me that'd be hard as a bitch. Because I lose, I'll be mad as hell. So I'm sure he's competitive too. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you know, I'm not saying he out here begging for donations or nothing, but man, just do bro a solid, man. $6 a month. That's the least we could do for him, coming up here and giving us great information and bringing everybody in here to give great information too, because there's some wild, sharp people in here. That's all I want to say.
Nah, I appreciate that, Jay.
On that note,
yeah.
Like I said, I don't like to post my picks. I like my page to be a post pick page, and I come up here and give my plays because I like the community. And Chris brought the community together, so co-sign on that. It's actually $7 in Canada, and I ain't got a problem with that. I put the $6.99. You know, it's all good, homie.
Hey, I appreciate that, man. Appreciate y'all for sure, man. It is tough, you know, having the bad days, man, especially when you feel like you're seeing the board clear. Y'all know I'm a basketball savant, man. Like I absolutely breathe this stuff, man. I eat this stuff. I sleep this stuff. So it's tough to have the bad days, but you know, I've had them before. I know how to bounce back from them. You trust your process and you just keep going, man. Whether it's me or somebody else that's, you know, on the opposite of a heater. You get the reverse sweep, man. It don't feel good, but we bounce back today. I appreciate the kind words from Dream, from Cam. Appreciate all the great analysis as well from Cam and Dream and Frag and you know, Great White and Monotone. Prop Bomb came through today as well, man. A lot of Stefan, a lot of great, you know, great guys, man. I've always been about community. It's not just sports betting. This is, you know, who I am. I'm active in my community outside of, you know, sports betting as well, my actual community. So yeah, that's what I'm about as a person, man. I appreciate everybody for tuning in today, man. My best bets are at the bottom. Like I said, if I add anything, it will be in the late game, probably the Laker game. I'm already on the under, but I do like that game a lot, man. I think my Lakers come out and kind of, you know, assert their dominance today as well. So we'll may add a play or two. Definitely, you know, let you guys know as well. And best of luck to everybody today, man. Best of luck to everybody today. I hope you guys cash your tickets, man. We'll be back tomorrow to break down the games for tomorrow as well. Enjoy the game today, everybody. Game starting in about 10 minutes. I'm out.